Hey everybody, just got the lights turned on this morning and I wanted to give a brief update here. First glance I had to do a double take. It looks like that crayfish has its claws on backwards. But if you look very closely you can see that that is one crayfish on top of another one and has its claws pinned down. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. I'm assuming the one on the bottom is dead, but that's not necessarily the case. I haven't seen any movement whatsoever from the bottom crayfish, however, though, so I'm assuming that it's just a dead crayfish and the one on top is going to start disassembling it here pretty soon and eating it. Just thought that was interesting, though, so I wanted to get it on video. I've also got another shiner floating around in there sideways. That's the first one I've lost in the last several days. And then I wanted to show a little bit of the crayfish crawling around on this piece of wood here. It really has grown on me since it's been in there. When I first put this piece of wood in, I really didn't like it. But because of the activity of the crayfish on it, I've always got a crayfish on it somewhere. In fact, down in here, yep, sure enough, you can see the antenna moving? There's a crayfish that actually lives inside that little hole right there. It's always in there. So it's just sort of adopted that as its home. And I know you can't see it in the darkness, but right in here there's a crayfish curled up, living in a little sort of notch right there in the wood too. So this wood became a really important piece of habitat once it went in the tank. And it obviously gives me plenty to do visually with watching the crayfish crawl all over it. So it's probably going to stay there. I kind of figured it would once I put it in there. I don't really have any other place for it. If I ever take it out of this tank, it'll probably just get thrown back out in the woods. So I like it. I think it's probably going to wind up staying in there. And other than that, I don't have a whole lot to update on this tank. My suckerfish is still doing fine. I'm trying to look around, see if I can see anything worth pointing out. And you can see right there in the back, right next to where my surface skimmer's lying on the bottom, you'll see that white stuff in the back. That's basically the spinal column of a dead fish, and the Chinese algae eater has basically stripped that down to bone and devoured all the flesh off of it. So pretty soon I'm going to get in here and do a fairly thorough cleaning. I noticed the other day when I was looking at this tank, if you look right there, you see all that dark material in the substrate. I didn't put any dark material in this tank. That is all just the build-up mulm and stuff in the bottom of the tank from the fish waste and everything breaking down. I guess in the long run, what you could call that would be dirt or soil. Eventually, it's breaking down, it's working its way into what we would find at the bottom of an actual riverbed. So I need to get in there and probably do a little bit of gravel vacuuming. I'll never get all of it out. Any tank that's this busy on the bottom, you know, I've got this many rocks and this many little caves and crevices. There's just no way I'll be able to get in there and vac all this stuff out and get that tank clean. This crayfish is really making his rounds. I wonder what he's in such a hurry for. You seldom see him scurrying around so fast. They normally move forward very slowly, or they move backwards very, very quickly. It's their escape mechanism. They flick their tail and it sort of just shoots them backwards, and that's how they panic and flee. When they're moving forward and they're just sort of foraging around, they tend to go a little more tentatively, and you know, they crawl along a little more carefully. This guy's just cruising around like he's on a mission. So I'm not really sure what's going on in there, but it looks like he found his destination, so I'm going to call it good right there. Maybe we'll get one last look at this crayfish making his way down off of the one piece of wood onto the other. So while we're waiting to see if he does anything exciting, I'll ask you to go ahead and please subscribe. Well, you won't miss anything I got coming up. You never know what I'm going to do. It's always hit or miss with me. And then I will remind you that this is my 125-gallon native tank. So thanks for watching. See you real soon in the next one.